Now, for a lot of people, deep divers, in this fast-paced world, it is hard to find love. But for highly awake people, for old souls, it can be even harder to find love. Why is that, Ralph? Because when you are highly awake, when you're an old soul, you can see things for exactly what they are. You can see people for exactly who they are. All the illusions in your mind are gone, and you are seeing for the first time exactly what is. Sometimes deep divers, that can be really hard to take. Really hard. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are out here in nature, baby, in Jurassic Park. Beautiful day. We're just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I'm sending you tons of love today, deep divers. Take that, because the cat down the road told me you need it. Deep divers, 11 reasons why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love. We've got so much to dive into. Deep divers, this is sexology. Water, fire, hot, cold, yin, yang. Daddy's home. I'm back. So, right now on the planet, deep divers, a lot is happening. A lot of energetic shifts. A lot of people are awakening. So many people are awakening right now. It's unbelievable. And because of this, it's also changing people's relationships. It's also making it harder for a lot of people to find love. And we are gonna dive into it in the best way ever. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Now, wonderful deep divers, let me share with you what's helped me along my journey, how I've learned to understand and understand this dilemma for a lot of people. 11 reasons why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love. Now, it's not because highly awake souls don't realize what I always talk about. The greatest relationship you can have is with yourself. Oh, yes, it is. A lot of highly awake souls already know this. However, when it comes to actually meeting another you in a different time and space, for a lot of people, it can become a little bit tricky. Why? Deep divers, the first reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love is because many are sapiosexual. Sapiosexual, right? They are attracted to someone's intelligence more than their body. Slow motion this side. Many highly awake souls, it's not just about the physical. You see, in this 3D matrix, when it comes to love and relationships and dating, it's all about the physical. How do you look? Now, deep divers, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a man full of warm blood. I love the body. But deep divers, I always realize there's more to the body. There's more to someone than just the body, right? There is their intellect, their mind, their heart, and many highly awake souls right now, as we approach the age of Aquarius, baby, where the hidden comes to light, are more interested in the mental connection than the physical connection, are more interested, oh baby, in the heart connection than the physical connection. And because of this, for a lot of highly awake souls, they have a hard time finding love in this matrix because so many people right now on the planet are preoccupied with just how they look on the surface, on the surface, right? But many highly awake souls want to go below the surface, right? And if you are a highly awake soul who watches my videos, I'm here to tell you there is hope. A great love is waiting for you. Call the cat down the road, okay? Exactly. Deep divers. What is the second reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? Because deep divers, many highly awake souls don't have time for meaningless interactions, shallow conversations, empty conversations. They don't have time for anything that doesn't help them evolve to the next level of consciousness. And deep divers, that was me along my early journey. Once I had that awakening back in 2006 when I became woke, I was having a hard time finding love. It was because nothing personal, and I'm no saint. I still have flaws, but I was changing who I was as a human being, realizing I'm a multidimensional being in a human body. Now that's a hard pill to swallow. So when I would be meeting other people, they would be talking about really mundane matrix stuff. And for me, this wasn't stimulating my third eye. I'm like, ain't nobody got time for this. I'll see you later in the next life, right? And that's what's happening to a lot of highly awake souls, okay? That's why they're having a hard time finding love, because they don't have time for shallow conversations. They don't have time for anything that's not helping them evolve, right? For anything that is not helping them evolve. And if you are a highly awake soul and you're having a hard time finding love, I'm here to remind you that sometimes you have to also realize that someone was where you were, right? A long time ago. Someone was where you were a long time ago. So I had to learn that as a highly awake soul, that actually everybody is at a different place in their journey. And just because they can't talk about the fifth dimension with me, it doesn't mean that we still can't go out. Right? We can still make it happen. We can still make it happen, deep divers. So baby, what's the third reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? They are putting their heart and soul into their mission. They are putting their heart and soul into what it is they came here to do on the planet. And that was me along my early journey. Not anymore, because now I've made room to love and be loved 100%. But I always knew, deep divers, I was different. I came here on a divine mission to inspire millions of people. Now, when I was first making videos, even on YouTube, I already knew that I'm filled with love. Like, I am full of love, deep divers. I just want to help other people. And this is why a lot of highly awake souls have a hard time finding love, because they're too busy giving their love away. Oh, isn't that sweet? Yes, it is sweet. But highly awake souls, it's time for you to now receive the love, right? It's time for you to be pampered by the cat down the road. It's time for you to be given a massage by someone who really loves you, right? So if you are a highly awake soul, it's time for you to receive the love you have been so freely giving to the world, right? Many highly awake souls are so in their mission that they actually forget to say, actually, wait a minute. I need to put love at the forefront as well. I need to be loved like I'm giving the love, okay? What is the fourth reason, deep divers, why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love in this matrix? 7-day vegan challenge. Shout out to everybody who has got their alkaline drink in this hand and their grapes in that hand and a beautiful watermelon in their mouth. And cucumbers over their eyes. Cucumbers over their eyes. You're going all out. And avocado on your skin right now. Ladies, I know it's like the best kind of mud mask, right? It's even better than a mud mask. Avocado's fantastic. Now, many people right now are changing their diet. They're changing what they consume. They are going plant-based. And when I was going plant-based, deep divers, it was hard for me to find love initially. Why? Because the person I was dating at the time still was a heavy meat eater and they didn't want to hear anything I had to say about it. I'm like, cool, you do you and I'll do me. And that relationship didn't go anywhere. Now, I get thousands of messages every single day from women telling me that they are in a relationship or they are pursuing someone or it's about to happen because they both like each other. But the only thing, Ralph, is that I'm plant-based and they're not. And this is why a lot of highly awake souls have a hard time finding love, because of the values. The values are different. You love animals, you care about animals, and you really like this person, but they don't really care about animals like you do. And that's why it's hard for highly awake souls to find love in this matrix. Like deep divers, I truly care about not only the cat down the road, but the pig down the road and the cow down the road. If I meet someone, I don't care how attractive I find them. If they don't care about animals like I do, it's not gonna work. I'm so sorry to break like millions of hearts out there right now in the world, right? They have to care like I care about animals. And a lot of highly awake souls are starting to realize that energy can never be destroyed, only transferred. Every other life form on this planet deserves the chance to live, and be loved, including the cat down the road, okay? What is the fifth reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? They are picking up energy. The gift of being highly awake is that you have a greater sensitivity. Now, the gift of having a greater sensitivity is that you are now vulnerable. This is where love begins to exist, in vulnerability. Happened to me along my journey. However, you are in a jungle right now, a concrete jungle for a lot of people. And it's hard for a lot of people who are highly awake or woke to find love because they are picking up too much information when they are around people. Like I said in the beginning, when you are highly awake, when you have had a shift in consciousness, you see things for what they truly are. You see people for who they truly are. So when I was not awake, deep divers, highly awake, when I would see a woman, I would just see a backside and a body. Thank goodness the cat down the road knocked some sense into me, right? When I had that massive awakening, I was seeing energy. Anytime I saw someone, a human being, I would see layers. There are levels to this shit, deep divers, and there are layers to this shit, and there are layers in all of us. And when you are highly awake, you don't just see the body, you see the energy. And this is why highly awake people have a hard time finding love, because they are picking up other people's emotional states and energy. So they don't just see someone's Instagram profile and think, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful or they're so handsome. No, they're like, I can see deeper into this person. And sometimes what you see, well, just leaves you going like this. Oh, okay, I'll be off now. Many times it could be great. Many times it can be great, but you also see the pain so many people are experiencing in this matrix. And that's why a lot of highly awake souls have a hard time finding love, because they don't want to just love you in a physical way. Oh no, they want to love you in a spiritual way. Oh baby. In a deeply emotional way. Talk it, Ralph. In a heart connection way. That's right, right? And that's the best thing in the world. Now, deep divers, what is the sixth reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? If you go on Instagram, for example, or you even go on Tinder, any of these apps, okay? We see a lot of profiles. When you are highly awake, you don't want to settle for something that looks good. No, you want something that's right for you. Slow motion this side. You don't want to settle for a mediocre relationship. You would rather be alone than be in a relationship with a wrong person. That is why a lot of highly awake souls have a hard time finding love, because they refuse to settle if their heart is not in agreement with this relationship. Some of your friends will just be with anyone just because they don't want to be alone. And they have this fairy tale romance in their mind of Prince Charming, who's actually a frog in reality. But that's another story, right? So, highly awake souls don't want to settle. And when we talk of not settling, it means you have to have patience. This matrix does not promote patience. It promotes instant gratification. And love is like a plant which has to be cultivated, watered, and nurtured. And highly awake souls are willing to wait for somebody who's going to nurture them the right way. They're going to nurture them. Isn't that beautiful? It's so beautiful. But that's why a lot of highly awake souls have a hard time finding love in the matrix, because they are willing to wait and other people aren't. They're willing not to settle. They have high standards, and this is fantastic. However, if you are a highly awake soul, and this was my issue, my problem along my early journey, I had to realize that, wait a minute, I'm still human. Remember the Titanic, people who are on the bottom of the boat were having the most fun? Well, that's kind of like how I see life. Like, loosen up, highly awake people, okay? Have some fun. And what you will notice is that, wait a minute, maybe my standards were too high. Maybe I have to drop my standards and do a little samba, baby, with the people at the bottom of the boat. How about that? How about that? Deep divers. Can we just, woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. What's the seventh reason why highly awake souls have a difficult time finding love? Many highly awake souls are healers. And I'm a Pisces deep diver, a water sign. Like, anytime, if you meet me, a lot of people meet me and they're like, Ralph, you just healed me. I'm a healer, deep divers. That's why a lot of people watch my videos and are healed miraculously, right? I'm a healer. So when you're in a relationship with me, I often end up healing you. And this is why a lot of highly awake souls have a hard time finding love, because they are healers sometimes more than lovers. And if you are a highly awake soul, it's great to heal other people. But once again, you have to learn how to receive love and also give love, not just heal people. So what helped me along my journey was to heal, but also to love and also to receive love. The reason why a lot of highly awake souls find it hard and difficult to find love is because they are so busy healing other people's problems, fixing other people's problems. So if you are a highly awake soul, I'm here to tell you, it's your turn to receive love. It is your turn to receive love, baby. What's the 8th reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? They can't pretend. Like, a lot of people can pretend real good. Highly awake old souls cannot pretend to save their life. Like, it's too real for them. And like deep divers, for me, I can't pretend. Like, what you see is what you get. I'm a very straightforward person, genuine person, authentic person. Now, this is why along my early journey, it was hard for me to find love, because I realized I was around a lot of people wearing masks. I was around a lot of people wearing masks and having false personas. This is why a lot of highly awake people have a hard time finding love, because they don't want to wear a mask. They don't want to pretend. They want to be their true selves. And I'm here to tell you, if you are a highly awake person, congratulations. That's the best thing to do. Keep it real with you, and I'll keep it real with you. I will. I so will. What's the 9th reason, deep divers, why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? You won't find them in the club all the time. A one-off occasion. Now, why do I know this? Because as a highly awake person myself, you won't find me in the club, except for that one-off occasion when it's the cat down the road's party. You see, deep divers, many people who are awakening from the matrix are starting to realize that you don't have to go to the club to enjoy yourself. You don't have to go to the club to meet someone. And a lot of highly awake souls, because you won't find them in the club, they have a hard time just meeting other people, because they are always in the heart of nature. And in nature, you're only going to find trees and stuff, right? Right? Well, you might find the occasional princess or prince, but it's rare. Highly awake people have a hard time finding love because they're not where everybody else hangs out in the matrix. So if you are a highly awake soul, my advice to you is that learn how to go out to the club on that one-off occasion. You don't have to do that. Learn how to socialize. That's what I had to learn. Like, because my mom would always, growing up, invite me to all of these functions and events. And afterwards, deep divers, I got so tired of going. I'm like, I don't want to go. And I found myself like actually not really socializing to the outside matrix world that much. But I actually realized that when I did, I would always meet someone. So if you are a highly awake soul, don't be so judgmental of going out and socializing in the mainstream, because your twin flame could be waiting for you. Yes, that could happen, deep divers, right? What is a 10th reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love? No games. They don't have time for games. Like in this matrix, it's men against women. There are a lot of different games people play, mind games. I'm not going to text him until he texts me. All of these little childish games, right? Highly awake souls don't have time for that. They don't have time for games. They wear their heart on their sleeve, right? And congratulations, if you are a highly awake soul who does that, that's what love is. Love is where you don't pretend, you don't play games. You really allow yourself to be vulnerable with someone else. Congratulations. What is the 11th? Oh, baby. Reason why highly awake souls have a hard time finding love. It is because, deep divers, highly awake souls crave intimacy. And intimacy means into me. Slow motion this side. They crave substance. They crave depth. They crave dimension. They crave a greater connection. And that's why in this matrix where everything is shallow on the surface, if you are a highly awake soul, many times it's hard to find love, right? Because you don't just want to meet someone. You want to explore with someone. You don't just want to meet someone. You want to get to know them on all levels. Physical, yes. Mental, yes. Spiritual, yes. Heart connection, absolutely. So there you have it, deep divers. If you are a highly awake soul, I'm here to remind you, love is there, waiting for you. You already know that love is inside of you, and you are love. But it's time for you to now receive the love you have been so freely giving to the world. And once that happens, deep divers, oh baby, you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Beautiful deep divers, we're just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. Shout out to everybody who's been getting the amazing good ass prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes. Got a question for me, deep divers? Add me on Instagram at Infinite Waters. And the model search is on. If you are a sexy model, with a lot of heart, DM me on Instagram at Infinite Waters. Check out the new book for more information like this. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. Peace. Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Let's just, breathe in that good ass prana, baby. Best thing to do in the world. Best thing. Peace.